A boy wakes up in a dark building. Unaware of how he got there, he starts walking around. He tries to call for someone, but nobody replies. Neon lamps dimly lights the place, a multitude of empty rooms and long corridors leading to nowhere. He checks his clock, which hands stopped running. An eerie silence permeates this place. A melancholic humming breaks the silence. This brings the boy's attention to a window and to the moon outside. This small exit is blocked by chains, and if that's not enough, the humming resumes. He's now able to discern the origin of the sad melody. He searches for a reply, but the voice keeps humming. Who is singing? What is this place? What is this scratching noise? Please answer me! The boy finds a woman in white garments, facing the end of the corridor. She slowly turns her head a bit. She smiles. And this story doesn't have anything to do with what we're here for today, because... Heya, long time no see. Today we'll be exploring Project Rogue Life, that is the MyMadness game. I know, it sounds confusing, but to put it briefly, one of the reasons for which MyMadness works is called that way is because MyMadness is a story I had in mind since I was a kid. By the way, we're on modern GameMaker this time. For some reason, this old project now runs really slow on GameMaker Studio, so I had to make a port, and this means trouble, you'll see. Compared to the other canned projects, this one is kinda big. Not much to be seen, but a lot to be played. So let's play. So, there's already a lot to say, but there's no hurry. This game was being developed back in 2015. The settings menu is unsurprisingly atrocious, but it should work as intended. There's also a little Xiglo sprite, so I can't complain much. Speaking of Xiglo, I'm pretty sure the static used in this one is the same used in Firework. As for the menu then, do you recognize it? Years later, these will be rearranged as the keychains ending them. But let's proceed. As you can see, the game starts with no explanation of what is going on. This camera movement is kinda nauseating. Sorry about that. A dead end. As you might have guessed, we can do more than just running and jumping. Collisions are kinda janky. They weren't perfect back then, but because of the porting they are really broken now. I remember this jump to be hell for friends that tried to build at the time. You see what I'm talking about? Because of the jankiness, we need to be wary of how we move. Spikes are insta-kill, by the way. Oh dang, the porting has messed up all the timing. This will ruin the experience, it needs to be fixed. Luckily, I already know what's going on. You see, before modern GameMaker, which we'll simply call GameMaker from now on, every room had its own speed. And for some reason, certain rooms in MyMadness held a different room speed. This cutscene specifically was kept at 30 FPS. To fix this, we'll be setting a deliberate room speed on the room start event of this persistent object. And since we also have some persistent rooms in this project, I'll be sure to reset the game speed to 60 FPS whenever we leave a room. I haven't noticed it before, but the BGM changes when we enter or leave the cave. Neat. Also, the characters' heads should be moving when outside, but the animation is a mess. I don't know if it's a porting issue or if it was like that even on studio. As a sphere once said, cool! This is cool too. Dashing will make us lose life shards. Also, now we have a weapon. Firing an arrow will make us lose shards too. But no need to worry, we can recover them from blasting things. Okay, so the janky collision made us sleep against the spike. We really need to be wary. I like how fast you can play, that is, as long as the collisions cooperate. And hey, you can use arrows as platforms. I like how he uses his teeth to load the arrow. The game doesn't help you get it, but the passage upstairs is now open. Whenever you get through an area, you can save your game or buy some upgrades. We still don't know how to fill our wallet though, so we'll keep the shop for later. Now, let's save. Green Realm, huh? So this place has a name now. You hear this? You owe me one, because it was much louder while recording. This is another porting issue that totally needs fixing. But this time I didn't know where to search. In the original project I used audio groups, so I thought they were the culprits. I tried some stuff, to no avail. While searching for the problem, I casually bumped into the culprit though. And well, the issue appeared because of the porting, but it did also because I was a dum-dum. The BGM's gain was set to 100. So, where were we? Much better. I like how the green realm is kind of a snowy and cold environment. Headshot. Looks like I was working on enemies with hittable body parts. As you can see, these enemies are far from complete. Headshots may result in fun behaviors too. See? I genuinely don't know how that works, but it's part of the Ken project's charm. It doesn't need to be fixed. It's not the same for the arrows hitting the wall though. They shouldn't be disappearing. When you complete an area and you have more than 99 life shards, the extra ones will be sent to your wallet. Let's go shopping. Silliest puns and references are scattered around these upgrades. We have JoJo, Evangelion, Megaman of course. There's a lot of upgrades actually. If I recall correctly, the cost values are almost all wrong. Maybe I should pick one of these, in the hope we'll upgrade everything as we reach the end of the game. Nah, let's go with the jump upgrade first. Everything costs more now, but again, I think it does not reflect the real cost. Next time we'll try to reach the shop with more shots. I think these music were meant to be placeholder, but thanks to nostalgia, I don't mind them much. I wonder if there's something up there. If arrows worked as intended, we could have checked that out. Not bad, not bad. What should we buy now? And now everything costs 0. But as you can see, we're still losing shots. I mean, the shop kinda works. Costs are printed all wrong, but you cannot get items if you don't have enough shots. And you can buy locked items, so yeah, it works. Let's save. Hey, look at those little icons! Also, rooms are all named differently, that's cool. So yeah, let's play Green Realm, switch. As you can see, the ball loading bar doesn't work as intended. Sometimes it resets. It can be pretty annoying. Weirdest deja vu ever. Let's go and kick Ignis in the butt. No, not good. This part should have some music playing, and for some reason the music didn't start. And you know what's fun? This time it's really an audio group issue. The music audio group's gain gets set to 0 when we open the gate. So I'll just set it back to 1 right before the music starts. A boss fight? In my canned Project Galore? You must be joking. I have so many things to say. First of all, these old dialogues makes me really embarrassed for some reason. That aside, we now know that this guy is named Hayden. Lady Cochlea talks about how weird it is to hear him talk. If memory serves me right, the fact that all the characters have no face is important to the lore. Whoever comes to this realm gets stripped of their faces and ability to speak, and Hayden's resolve is strong enough to let him talk. He willingly came to this place for a very specific purpose. Hey look, it's Needleman's hussars. I really need to fix these collisions. The camera is at its worst when it comes to ladders. I don't want to risk it, but I think touching these goofballs will take us down with them. Come on. I like the fact that his enemy gets faster every time you hit them. Oh yes, look at all these shards. We can buy a lot of upgrades. Let's double jump. Ah, it doesn't work. Is air dash broken too? Great, we can air dash. Then let's take this. And this. Oh, this is neat. Then let's maximize our shards income. Okay, now let's go for a quick save. Ah, much better. Our arrows are now longer. If they worked as intended, that is, getting stuck to the wall as they should, we will have much more comfortable platforms to climb walls as we like. I really like the arrows as a platform mechanic. You could make fun stuff with level design and gimmick boss fights. Also, the air dash is awesome. Thanks, Megaman X2. Dang. Okay, this time worked. See? It's cool. Looks like arrows get stuck only at a certain distance. I remember hating this level on my latest playthrough of this memory. I don't like when you have to wait inside scrollers. These guys are a trap. I won't fight them this time. I think that these floating goos serves as platforms or something like that. Exactly. Oh, have I missed pressing the up key? No, I didn't. Something's wrong here. The ladder's collision mask is probably messed up. Let's see if I can reach a different set of ladders. Okay, no, this needs to be fixed. So, the ladder's mask is too narrow. It was probably set as automatic back then, but now it's marked as precise, which is not good when we stretch the object in Room Editor. I mean, I could fix it by placing a ladder object on every set of ladders, like this. But you know what? For legacy purposes, I won't do that. I'll just reset the collision mask to full image. And I'll save these for later, should it give us problems. So yeah, I removed all the old ladders objects only to put them back as they were before. And now, let's get back to the game. This section's tricky. Nice use of the ladders. You can easily avoid fighting these enemies, but if you take your time, you can farm for some shots. We won't do that. Well, at least not for every enemy. I think we're almost done with the game's content. And it's a bit funny if you think about it. MyMadness is probably the richest canned project, but the gameplay is so simple that we're done in half the time it took us to delve into other old projects. There's still some more stuff to see though, so let's move onwards. Hey, the double jump is now available! That's weird, but also neat. I'd like to try something else though. Let's take High Field. I don't remember a thing about it. Ah, the jump icon changed to the air jump one. And here's the High Field. Pretty cool animation. Oh, Donkey Kong time. That's an awful leap of faith. I'm pretty sure you can get stuck if you get down while the platform moves towards you. Oh, this is tricky. Better safe than sorry. Ouch. Okay, you can just jump it. Oh, this one's a surprise to me. I don't remember this section. Good job, Ivan. This is a fun idea. It still leans on having to wait, but there's also the time trial aspect of it, which I like. It's a shame these areas don't have music. Oh god, these collision issues. Yay, I did it by dashing. Enemies do not respawn, and this means that gates do not respawn either. This kills the annoyance of redoing the timed section, but it also leaves our trip devoid of anything fun. And now we must be wary. This isn't gonna work. Getting down one-way platforms with the collision issues is one hell of a ride. And because of that, I'm also dead. we do have a problem. Even if we get to the bottom, doing so takes us too much time. Maybe I should take the chance to fix the collisions. Thing is, I know for sure that it will be harder than it should. But I'll do it tomorrow off camera cause I'm tired. Nap time! So hey, check this out. The curse has been lifted. And also, now we're talking. You can't get down these as you can with one-way platforms, but you know what? I could use the time spent fixing a 2015 old project to make new games. So, yeah. I also fixed the bow's loading issue. It was a bit tricky to navigate the old code, which was better than the Case of Stress one, but it still came with its fair share of silly things. Now, let's get back to the Green Realm. What? What the? This is new. I think we're stuck. I won't even try making sense out of this bug. Oh dear, I forgot to test the long arrows. Luckily they disappear whenever they leave the screen. I promise I'll make up for the lack of music later. You'll regret this silence. So, rendezvous. It's still janky, but it's playable at least. And if memory serves me right, this is the end. Kinda anticlimactic. Since we're here though, let's empty our wallet. Shards income maximized. And one last save, just to be sure. Ah! I wasn't expecting this. This is the last room I worked on back then, and as you can imagine, it's the Blue Realm. I was so proud of the in-water music change. As I was saying, this area is unfinished, and its rhythm should have been different than what we've seen with the Green Realm. Dang, we can't explore as I'd like with the long arrows. Come on, Ivan, one less small fix. The sudden appearance of the Blue Realm got me off guard. I thought there was one less Green Realm room first. And you know what? Before getting back to the Blue Realm, why don't we take a look at that room? Ah. Okay, I guess. I was sure it had more to offer. Guess I was wrong. I mean, I knew it was incomplete, but this area was meant to start with Hayden on the moving platform, just as last room left him. That is what I expected to see here, hence why my confusion. This area would have been the end of Green Realm, one last fight with Lady Cochlea. Here, let me show you. While powering up for the second fight, Cochlea's head would absorb a big chunk of her own hairs to use them as weapons. In this case, to grow wings. But she wasn't meant to be the only one capable of doing so. As she stated in her cutscene, Hayden had to face 3 challenges. This means that there were 3 realms, and 3 ladies. Eden was like the main baddie, so she doesn't count. As for the two other ladies, only the upcoming drawings stood the test of time. First one is the Blue Realm lady. I think she was called Anemone, as in the sea animal. I don't remember much, but she was probably meant to be fought under her castle in the sea. Then we have the Black Realms lady. I can't remember her name. But thanks to this other drawing, we can assume that she fought by spreading darkness with her long dress. I like it. As for Eden, we'll talk about her later, okay? Let's resume our exploration. Long arrows fixed. As I was saying earlier, Blue Realm's design was kinda different than the green one. This castle was meant to be explored. So, instead of having firewall-like levels, you had to navigate one big area, like in a Metroidvania. Also, I found out that you can make hide and look up with the F key. Oh, look at them going. Suspicious platform. Please do ignore the invisible water. Okay, this was meant to touch the ground and stop its rotation. Also, I don't think that picking up the key does anything. Maybe there's a door on the upper floor? And what if we go right first? Oh no. Not the Brick Realm. Can we make a platform? Okay, we're stuck. Well, we now know that there's nothing on the right. I don't think there's anything interesting up here either, but it's a good idea to explore a bit. By the way, this music was made by a friend, it's not mine. I like the castle's exteriors. There's a nice mood. And now, behold. The infinite slide. The logic is that whenever the player is dashing and there's a wall above their head, the sliding action won't stop. And I think we're done. Now, let's have a look at the project's rooms. We also have a lot of unused ones to check. And while we're taking a look, let's talk about some details and also the game's soundtrack. This track you already heard before in the video comes from the very first iteration of the game. Before becoming MyMadness, the project name was Roguelife. Inspired by Daniel Linsen's Roguelite, which is awesome and you all should play, Roguelife's idea was more akin to what I did with Ecstatic Beats back in 2022. I don't remember the details, but you can kinda see the similarities if you think about it. In the first iteration of MyMadness, you were able to change the level soundtrack from the pause menu. Because of that, some of my oldest music works were rearranged in 2015. And when I talk about oldest, I mean it, we're talking about 2007. Let's listen to Destination. I made a lot of beats when I was 15. I got so used to that kind of music that I had trouble adapting to the game's soundtracks back then. drums were a mess, but I really liked the melody. Now, let's listen to Not Over Yet. This one doesn't have drums. It's the first time I'm sharing these tracks online. It's a strange feeling, like putting my underwears on display. Kinda private, you know? Even the start point music, which was used in the game, is a rearrangement of an older track. So let's listen to Monochromia Melody. Made with Daisuke Pixel's GameMaker, this track has gone through many iterations. God, I love Cave Story. Then we have some unused cutscene tracks, like Moon Over the Castle. This was probably meant for an Eden encounter. Then we have one simply named Strings. I feel like I used a variation of this somewhere. It was an important track back then. It could also be that it simply sounds like The World from One Day. I mean, a lot of my tracks share similarities. I always end up making the same music, I think. And while we listen to a different version of Strings, let's check the debug room. I always loved debug rooms. My favorite's the one in Memorial Village. You know, the MyMadness you've seen today is the last iteration of a story that's now 20 years old. It's a weird feeling. Life changes, and so do we. When I look back, I often find myself not liking what I see. But at the same time, I can't help but drown in nostalgia. This embracing footprint is what makes me what I am today. I don't like this feeling. Maybe I should just learn to live with it. And here is a classic debug room moment. Let's check on something else. Next music is Boss. It's awful, so get ready. Thank God it's short. Speaking of mistakes, when we first launched the game I told you that the December track would later be rearranged to star on Keychain. This is false, or not entirely true. The real ending from Keychain does indeed play a rearrangement of this track, but this version. This is originally from MyMadness. And this makes me think. Even if I feel weird thinking about the past, I often find myself getting back to it in search of inspiration, unused things, what defined me back then and what still defines me. And it's strange because sometimes it looks like the old me had something more to say. Sorry, music makes me obnoxious. Time to look at the pause menu, which we haven't opened in all our playthrough. I promise this comes with a surprise. You heard that? That's Megaman's pause sound. And this is because MyMadness was once a Megaman fan game. This is also the music select screen I talked about earlier. It surprisingly stood the test of time. Making a game in which you can listen to the tracks you like while playing is a concept still dear to me. I have one specific idea that revolves around it, but who knows when I'll make it. As I was saying though, this was originally meant to be a Megaman fan game. And some rooms are a testament to that. Some rooms, some objects, and... Do you remember the string music? There are some more Megaman Them rooms here, but I think there's no need to check on them thoroughly. We'll just take a look while listening to another track from the Canet Megaman fan game. One which I really like. That arrow block is probably a conveyor belt. And this one was probably the first room made for roguelife. We're done on checking rooms. I mean, we're done on checking everything. I'll scroll through the game's assets, but I think that's all. It saddens me that a lot of material got lost to time, such as artworks and design documents. But one thing I can do is unveiling the story that this game was meant to narrate, so that I can finally leave it behind and never think about it again. So, let's see what I remember. This hidden guy ends up in a surreal place where souls in search of their lost love get tangled. Lost souls are greeted by the goddess of this place, Eden. Normally, when a lost soul wanders this realm, they only get one chance to find their lost love. They get their life turned into shards, and if they happen to lose every one of them, they die. But for some reason, Eden is special, and the goddess keeps one single shard with her so that he can try as much as he'd like. This pretty much sums up the incipit. The goddess talks about how Hayden's bow is the weapon that suits him the most, and we would have found out that this is because Hayden killed her beloved by piercing her heart with an arrow. Predictable, right? Thing is, Hayden's beloved is Eden herself. I can't remember if his loved one is an emanation or a reincarnation of the goddess we hide in the realms, but rest assured, Eden knows what happened. She remembers. And so she waits on her goddess throne to unveil her facial features to the man she once loved. No matter how pathetic his reason will be, she'll make things even. As for the realms and the ladies, I think there's no need to tell you that everything's up to interpretation. By the way, the main menu was not finished. When starting a new game, the game's logo was meant to animate. Only when selecting New Game, the menu arrow wouldn't fire as it happens on this build. Hayden will shoot the arrow, and Eden will be stabbed by it. Only after this quick animation, the game will start. And then we have the root. Let's take a step back. It's the year 2004. Influenced by shonen mangas, a young boy starts making up his own story. As you may expect from an 11-year-old boy, it's a silly story about characters fighting with special techniques and such. A non-story set in a city where there's a secret fight club called Happiness. A guy named Mad and his friends decide to challenge the members of Happiness. That is, until another character makes their first appearance. Wiping out all the participants, a woman named Eden shows her madness to everyone involved with Happiness, taking control of it. The boy is so happy with these characters that he decides to mix his two big passions into one, and this leads to his first video game being made. It's nothing more than a Megaman clone paved with Silent Hill MIDIs and GameMaker 6 code found somewhere online. It's the boy's second approach at game development, and also the last one for a long time. Years pass by, and he keeps drawing these characters for an unmeasurable amount of times, changing their designs and their story as time went on. 2009. A boy named Mad and his friends gets thrown in a bizarre reality in which every character is labeled with an emotion. When said emotion reaches its limit, it becomes madness, and thus a small realm of its own called Happiness gets created. All of this is the doing of Eden, a being which cannot feel emotions naturally. When Mad was born, though, the two got tethered via the fruit of Eden. Thanks to this, Eden can now feel the very same emotions Mad feels. She then proceeds to ruin his life because she craves for new emotions. 2012. A guy named Hayden makes a video game, but an entity inside of it takes a will of its own. The entity proceeds to bring Hayden into the very same game he made. Along with Hayden, his friends and some other people get thrown in, starting a game of death. Hayden needs to maintain a low profile to avoid being held responsible. At this point, this story is just a revision of what already was back in 2009. While maintaining the same characters, its setting got influenced by the boy's return to the thing he once loved. This relit flame ends up burning MyMadness. The boy, which by then became a young man, shifts his focus to video games. 2013. Hayden and Eden are two fictional characters with no purpose left. 2015. As they say, life always finds a way. Even if for a fistful of months, MyMadness shed its skin and tried to live along his now adult father. Which, in retrospective, is kinda sad, but also really fun. It's fun to look back trying to understand how all that we have today came to be. It's fun to see the patterns, the way we approach stories, concepts, shapes. In my case, I still love the moon, albeit now loving a full moon more than a crescent one. I draw wings the same way I did in 2012, and as it was since I can remember, I still have my very strange fixation with smiles and ladders. If you think about it, the very concept of the Eden characters is something that, to this day, still haunts what I make. Women with long black hairs, goddesses tied to emotions. And it's not just Eden, there's a bit of MyMadness in everything I make. Moons, wings, realms, pacts, curses, spiky hairs, you name it. And maybe this is why it feels so personal to me. Its very DNA is somehow coded inside every new iteration of MyMadness Works games. This is why MyMadness as a thing will never see the light of the day. And at the same time, this is why I wanted to pay tribute with this video. We grow up, we strive to become better persons, and we leave things behind in the process. So I think this is a nice way of telling MyMadness goodbye, and thanks.